Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event of the evening.
Let's get ready to rumble! Get ready to rumble!
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review YouTube channel. After tonight's crazy game of football, which finished Newcastle United 3, Manchester City 4. A crazy game. Now, Jade, you told me before you came on that you wanted to have a rant.
I do. I have to get it off my chest because all I'm saying is that if we were stronger in defence and if we were quicker going forward like we were the Leicester game, this game was ours. And that's what upsets us, because Man City, yes, they're Man City and we've got to show them respect. Of course we do. They're the champions. They're a brilliant team. Even their second team is brilliant. But at the end of the day, to score 3 goals against them and concede 4 is fucking bang out of order. That should never have happened, especially going fucking 1-0 up. My tactics would have been still get at them, because you know what they can do on the attack. So we need to stay strong at the back, but still get at them. And it's just absolutely frustrating that the fact that we were winning the game and still lost. And that is just bang out of order. I know, like I said, Man City, great team. They are really strong coming forward, even with their second team. But still, that game was there for the taking for us. And again, we bottled it and we deservedly lost because we weren't the best team, but we should have been at them from the very start.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's just a bit of background noise in your...
sorry.
Just where you are, Jade. The thing is that got me, I mean, Ake was there to get at tonight. He really was. He was there to be got at, and he had such a terrible game. And I just felt that somebody like Andy Carroll would have caused him all sorts of problems with crosses into the box. But again, we come down to Steve Bruce and his crazy substitutions. Waits till the last 10 minutes before he changed anything. When it was clear after 60 fucking minutes, we were knackered. He needed to make a change, but he didn't. He was happy for us just to sit there behind the ball again. Then he puts John Joe Shelby back in defence. It really pisses me off when he does that, when we've got players who are available on the bench. Why not give Matty a run out? Why not put Matt Longstaff on from about 65 minutes? Give him a run out in the Premier League, for God's sake. The man is just clueless. He brings Sean on. Why bring Sean on at that stage of the game? Why not put his brother on? It just makes no sense. The man is clueless. For
me, Matty offers a lot more from what I've seen of him. And I know that he does play Sean like a lot more than he does Matty. But then why give him the contract to then play him on the bench and not even give him that chance? Because for me, Matty would have came on, give the energy that we needed. And what have we got to lose? We're playing the champions. Hoy him on, see what he can do. And at the end of the day, we should have been at them a lot more than we were. And totally agree. I honestly, I can't speak of Matty highly. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. And I feel like if we don't give him a chance, someone else is. And it's going to be the same Newcastle performance, is that we'll lose a fucking good young player. And he should have been on, because he would have got at them. And I want to see him play. Like, he excites us, and I can't say that about Newcastle players.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that got me tonight was we proved in the first half, if we went at them, we would have had a lot more opportunities, because, we had 2 attacks and scored 2 goals. Yes, one was a penalty, one was a corner. I don't give a shit. The ball was in the net.
Yeah,
and that's
we caused that penalty. Our attacking, us going forward caused that. It was bizarre.
Layla's put, watch his stand on Miggy. He's so frustrating. He's such an overrated player. We need to move him on in the summer. What's your thoughts on Miggy? Well, me and Jade have different thoughts on Miggy. I'm at the end of my tether. I don't know what the crack is. And people can come on to me and say, well, he's not playing in his best position. I don't care. Look at Joe Willock, right? Joe Willock bursts forward and causes trouble. Why is Miggy not doing that? Why is Miggy getting the ball and running forward a little bit, then thinking shit and turning back in a blind panic? Then when he does go forward, he loses the ball, or his passing is abysmal. I mean, that one in the second half when he was on his way, and if he just played it left, for St. Maximin was in on goal. And he tried to play an impossible ball through to Joe Linton, which was just an easy pickup for the defender. I just can't see a way forward for Miggy. I just can't, Jayde.
Honestly, and I can't not agree with you, because the past few games he has been a ghost, and moving forward, he runs forward and he stops and he turns around. And I feel like, I don't know if that's coaching, or I don't know if it's something in his head that just stops him wanting to move forward. Because I feel like he's got something in him that just stops him wanting to play that pass forward, or wants to stop him running forward. He always stops and turns around and see what's behind him. But for me, like, I just can't help but love the kid. And I know we've discussed that on John's watch along. I think it is the work rate for me, because he does give more of a work rate than I could say about Shelvey, or I could say about Kraft. He does work his arse off. Yes, the final product isn't there, but I feel like it could be under the right manager. But I just feel like he needs that little bit of confidence to, like, be free. Like, we give Maxi the confidence to kind of run and do what he wants. If we give Miggy the same kind of freedom, he probably could come good. And I feel like if we give him the chance and under a proper manager, I think he will come good eventually.
Will he get the time, though? That's the interesting thing. Anthony says Miggy out, Willock in. Andy says shit performance as per playing too deep. Murphy had a howler. I don't think Murphy had a howler.
Oh, I think he did brilliant.
I thought Murphy was one of our better players tonight.
Shocking, he did really well.
Yeah, I think he certainly had Sterling in his pocket most of the night, so I'm not sure I agree with that one. But again, it's all about opinions. Focus has said he had sparks of energy and intuition, but his ability seemed to have let him down a little, somewhat, I think. Still, kid has a ton of potential that just needs to be unlocked. Kendo says he has his faults, but Miggy was one of the few players who could run with the ball and brought the ball forward half the pitch. He did, but where's the finishing product?
It's the end product he's missing,
isn't it? Where is that final ball? Where is his shot? Exactly. There's nothing coming from him. And for me, that's what lets him down. Whereas Willock looks like he could score hatfuls of goals every game at the minute. He just gets
so
into the right
confident,
position.
isn't he?
But Miggy's nowhere near there. He's nowhere near that standard. Layla says, why does Miggy lack end product? People say he's played out of position, but he gets into positions where he could do something, but either he slips or he gives the ball away. And this is my point. I do agree with that. He's very frustrating at the minute. Jake says, Willock looks thoroughly pissed off. We'll be on the phone to his agent tonight saying, do not sign me up with this fat fraud in charge. You know what it is? I mean, we'll come on to Steve.
He deserves better, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He deserves better, does Willock.
What the fuck was Bruce's substitutions? We had no striker for a while, then takes off Fernandez and pushes Shelvey as centre-back. Same as what he did at Anfield. He put Shelvey at the back. I will not and cannot understand that. Just cannot.
Because he's a coward and he will not take Shelvey off for the life of him. I don't know what goes on his head. Like, what's in Steve Bruce's head is like, I cannot take Shelvey off, no matter how shit he is. Even if I want to swap a midfielder for a midfielder, I must take a defender off for a midfielder and put him in centre-back. Like, what has Shelvey shown that shows he would be a good centre-back? Nothing. He's not even good at his position he's supposed to play in, but he's just such a coward that he won't take him off, and it's just fucking baffling to me, because that man should not be on the pitch.
No, definitely not. Super Joe Willock says, Richie, 30 million, please. I tell you what, every game that price is going up and up and up. It really is. And
Mike,
by the way,
he's shitting himself.
Yeah, and Richard, thank you again for the background. I managed to hook up OBS today, and it's working fine. So thank you for the fantastic background you made for us. I really appreciate that. Luke says, I agree. The quality you need in the final third wasn't there from Miggy tonight. It hasn't been there for a long time. And
that's what he's missing, isn't it?
Plus cash, yeah. Hi, Paul. Hi, Thomas. Sean says, hi, Jayde. Kendo, good performance, though. Not the best of penalties, but good luck that Joe Linton and Willock showed steel to step up for the job. I'll tell you something. I was absolutely over the moon for Joe Linton when he scored his penalty, simply because the pressure on the kid would have been massive. You know, he's had so much criticism this season, well, since he's been at the club, me included. But that finish, that penalty, I mean, it reminded me of Shearer, the way he used to bang them in the corner like that, unsavable penalties. And I just can't understand why Joe Linton doesn't hit the ball like that when he's in the box in a normal situation, instead of like feathering the ball and powder puff shots.
Well, you've got to think that the pressure would have been on him there kind of more than it would be kind of an open play situation, because every eye's on him. So I don't understand why he was so kind of calm and collected taking the penalty. But when the ball's played through to him on a one-on-one situation, he misses. Like, if there's just something missing with the kid. But I have to admit that penalty was class. And like I said, like, if Wilson had took that penalty and scored, I'm not in no way comparing Wilson to Joe Linton in the slightest. But
no,
if Wilson had... Yeah, if Wilson had took that penalty, everyone would be like, oh, yes, get in, Wilson, you're class. But I'm sorry, the kid needs credit for scoring an absolute brilliant penalty. Even the keeper went the right way and he still couldn't catch it because it was that pin perfect, and he deserves credit for that.
Without a doubt. Gemma says, Jayde, I love you. You make the Toon review. Excuse me, there's two of us on this channel. Thank you very much. And good evening to you as well, Gemma. Paul says, evening, Paul, evening, Jayde. Andy, all right, Paul and Jayde. Michael says, wins manager of the month, then the next game gives up as soon as they scored. The fourth coward. Yeah, our manager of the month, by the way, who just makes the most baffling substitutions you've ever seen in your life. When his team are out of gas after 60 minutes, he doesn't change it for another 20. And then when he does change it, he brings on the most ridiculous players in the most ridiculous positions.
In the wrong positions.
I mean, how is this man manager of the month? I don't get it.
I don't know who voted for him, but it definitely wasn't Newcastle fans.
No. Thomas says, I'm heartbroken. Well, please explain why. RD12, Bruce got manager of the month. Yes, exactly. Bruce, manager of the month. Gemma says, same Thomas Hun. Why are people heartbroken? I'm trying to work that out. Do you know anything, Jayde?
I don't understand.
Okay. Mike says, why do we look shit? ASM, Miggy never in the game. I mean, ASM again, you know, there's flashes from him, but again, no end product.
That is what we're missing, isn't it? Like, it's the end product. All these players show glimpses of being something special until they get to the end product, and they always make the wrong choice. With Maxi, he has got that something special where he can take on players and he can get past them, and on the occasion he scores the great goal. But 9 times out of 10 he makes the wrong choice, and he's kind of, I feel like he's overconfident in himself. Where he kind of tries to take on too much, and when there's like today there was people going forward and we just chose the wrong pass, we tried too much, and then by the time we tried to take it on, the chance was gone and the players was passed. So I just think the end product needs to be improved, and that is something we should be working on in the training field. But knowing Bruce, he hasn't even really noticed it.
No, exactly. Annie says, hi, oh dear, Jayde's on a rant. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice for me not to get the ranting reputation now, Jayde. So, you know, you're taking over that mantle for a bit. How can you be negative about that performance? Who's been negative?
It's not negative. It's just, it should have been better than it was. Like, we had the opportunity to take Man City to Man City. Like, we had the opportunity to go at them and we didn't. And that's, we should not have conceded 4 goals. That's the problem. But I mean, we always said, I said we're going to get beat 3-1, but being ahead every single time, and then it was obviously we equalised, and I was like, right, go at them. But it wasn't go at them. It was like, right, we've equalised. Let's everyone behind the ball. Let's try and keep this. And against a side like Man City, you can't do that. You can't try and defend against them, because they are going to find gaps. They're going to find something special to break through you. The only chance you have is going at them and trying to get to their weaknesses. And we did that for some of the game. But then when we were 3-2 up, we should have kept going. But no, Bruce said, everyone behind the ball, let's try and defend the win we've got. And against a quality side like Man City, you can't do that. And it's shown tonight that they have the quality to split through us, and that's what happened, unfortunately. But it should have been better.
It's not being negative about the performance. It's constructive. You know, we have to look at it as fans and say, right, what could we have done better? And we could have done a lot better in the final third of the pitch had we pushed them back, because their defence was rocky tonight. They didn't have the normal centre-backs in. Ake looked all over the place. We could have got at him. We could have really, really got at him. And that's the difference. That's what we're saying. You know, yes, we've only lost 4-3 to Man City when we thought we were going to get an absolute high. Oh, well, come on. That second half.
We scored 3 goals is brilliant, but we should not have conceded 4. That's the problem.
That last 20 minutes for Man City was a training session. And it shouldn't be like that.
It could have been more.
Not when we're at home. Jake says, I do have sympathy for Miggy. He's clearly not the finished article yet and won't progress under Bruce. Focus says, I'll also add, although John Joe has little work rate, he wasn't looking to miss that free kick. Yes, I agree. He chased down a winger 50 metres for a tackle foul, and that quick free kick at the 79th minute was great vision. Yeah, he was a bit more in the game tonight. I have to say that. You know, he did that free kick was superb.
He was very unlucky not to score that, to be honest. But that's the little bit of magic you see for him, which makes you think, could he kind of pick it back up again? But that doesn't kind of compensate for how lazy and shite he's been lately, unfortunately. Like, those little bits of magic for me just don't kind of condemn him for what he's done.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at John Jones and say, right, but the free kick was perfectly placed, apart from it just being a little bit too high.
Yeah.
But that's what we should have done a bit more in the first half. You know, you've got Scott Carson, who's 903 years old, right?
Yeah, he's only 3 years older than me. Calm yourself down.
Well, you're not far behind me. And like, you know, he's older than Dracula. He doesn't have massages. He has WD-40 on his hips and knees. You know what I mean?
Shelby's handing out his Zimmer frame to him.
But pepper him with shots.
The guy literally hasn't played for
He hasn't played for 2 years, you know.
And he fucking got a guard of honour. Like, that's how confident Pep was. Yeah. But that's Pep's downfall, I think, because he did kind of appreciate how we were doing. I mean, I bet he wouldn't have never thought that we'd have scored 3 goals against him and that it would have been that tight. So, like, I don't want to be negative to say, like, because we did just score 3 goals against the champions. And yes, 2 were penalties, but they were penalties because we were running forward and we made those penalties.
Technically, Willis wasn't, because he missed, didn't he? So
he did. Well, technically, yeah, he on the rebound. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like because it's like coming up at the end of the season, we've got nothing to play for. I just want a little bit more from them. Like, and I know apparently that's too much to ask as a Newcastle fan, just to have a little bit more.
Don't ask for any more, my God.
No, I can't. Like, we're safe. I can't ask for anything more, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that's me 3 wishes gone from the genie.
I know. Paul says, threw it away with shit subs. City were better side, but we made poor decisions again. Yeah. Andy Willock was hanging at 60 minutes. It happens when you train 7 times a year. Andy Carroll should have gotten at least 15 minutes. Bruce again with poor management. Don't criticise the manager of the month, my God. The Brucey lovers will come at you. They will come at you, believe me.
How dare you?
I know. Charles, good evening, mate. Mark says, I agree with Jayde. Too slow and not enough hard work. Again, it comes down to work rate, fitness, etc. Paul Ake was another player who was a weak link in the opposition team that we never go at all during the game time. Was the same with Xhaka playing left back against us. Exactly, Michael.
That was it. But I don't think press. Yeah, I don't think Bruce, like, through the game, notices this. So, like, obviously when Xhaka against Arsenal got his yellow card, we all said, get at him, get Miggy, get Saint, get Murphy to run at him, but they didn't. And again, you know, Ake was the weak link in that City defence, and I would be saying, right, we'll run at him because he's not going to catch you. But again, he hasn't got that managerial mind to think, oh, they have got a weak link. All he's thinking is like, ooh, my team is drawing, so I'm doing a good job. Like, that is literally the thing he thinks about. And it's like, you don't think about kind of progressing Newcastle. All you're thinking about is kind of keeping them where they are and thinking, well, we can get a draw out of this. And I just want them to have a go.
You said there, managerial and mind in the same sentence doesn't go with Steve Bruce.
No, that's very true, yeah. Not a sentence you would make with Steve Bruce, is
Definitely not. Kendo says it was a defensive substitution when we're losing. Bruce bottled it. Nick says tactical genius. What were those subs about? At one point, no striker on the pitch. Really poor decisions. I mean, at one stage, he had Willock as our striker and Shelby as a centre-back.
Oh, that's a Bruce masterclass right there, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt.
Where was the comments then, though?
Yeah. Kevin says, great chance to beat Man City tonight. Fitness and no plan B. Substitutions, pork pie face. Did not have a clue. Man alive, he needs to go. He probably thinks that's a great result. You can guarantee he thinks it's a great result.
Oh, he'll be buzzing after tonight. Oh, we scored 3 goals. We're only like 1 goal down. Like, no, it wasn't a great result because we could have done better.
Their quality shown in the end. Can't blame anybody for that. Yes, the work quality. I just want to see us press a bit more. Bruce out says, Mike, keep in mind you guys had 21% possession. Not bad to put past 3 goals on the league champs and Champions League finalists. Yeah, well,
that's just our standard season. Like, I don't think we've got out of 20% possession all season. So we're just used to that, unfortunately.
Yep. Callum says, why can't we play like this every game through the whole season? Imagine where we would be. Yeah, I mean, had we decided to go it a bit more, you know, we would have been higher up the table. Sean says, I should play for Newcastle United. We all say that, Sean. Anthony says, I'm done with Miggy now. He's more suited to La Liga. I honestly think that's where he probably ended up.
I do think he would do a lot better in a slower league, to be honest. I think even like a League One in France or the Spanish league, I think it's just this might be a bit too fast for him.
Yeah.
But I do hope he does come through, but the stats and the games are kind of now piling against him to think
it's
he
not
might
looking
not be
great.
up to it. Yeah.
No. Kevin says, tactically naive. All this after over 1,000 games in the Premier League. I'm speechless. Thomas says, Miggy was shocking. Terry, even Paul and Jayde, crap defending at times, but why wait so long for the subs to be made? We don't know. We really don't know. And I've said this all season about Steve Bruce and the substitutions. Literally everyone he makes baffles the shit out of me. Just completely baffles the shit.
Weird times, doesn't he? Like, when he should bring Andy on, like, with 2 minutes to go, I'm like, what do you want to, like, wasting time? Like, what do you want to achieve? Like, this probably is going to be Carroll's last season with Newcastle. Just let him have a bloody go. There's nothing to lose at the last 3 games, and he can't do any worse than Gale when he comes on. So let him have a go.
Subs were ready around the 74th minute, but possession didn't allow the subs till around 81. Yeah, but that's because it was just a training session by then for Manchester City. Miggy won't improve. He's playing at his highest capability. Kevin says the SM was missing tonight. Murphy Howler didn't realise Sterling was on the pitch. He's away soon as Sterling.
I don't agree with that, Kevin. No,
what he's saying is Murphy. He doesn't understand the Murphy Howler comment. I think that's what he said.
Sorry,
because he didn't realise Sterling was on the pitch because he was in Murphy's pocket. But I agree with ASM. Again,
100%.
He needs to improve as well. It's all right, these fancy flicks and moves, but there's just no final product, no final pass, and that's what he needs to work on.
Yeah, and that's what's going to keep him attracting the top 6 teams, because there is no final product, unfortunately. Yeah, you can do some kind of like little kind of passes past players, but if there's no final products, the big teams aren't going to be looking at you, and you do go down a lot easier than I would expect you to. So you need to kind of bulk up and do better in that aspect.
Definitely. Guys, if you are enjoying the show, don't forget to smash the like button, as it does help us build up the channel. And if you're new to the channel, have a look around. If you like it, like what you see, please do consider subscribing. And also super chats are available if you wish to donate. We had a fantastic one last night on the preview show from Michael with a £50 donate, which was just incredible. So thank you again, Michael, for that.
Thanks, Michael.
So kind. Wish Anderson would get a game time in matches like these, fast paced, but he can't. He's injured. But maybe fit for Sheffield United, certainly fit for Fulham. I'd like to see him certainly before the end of the season. Nick says the SM was poor. Well, exactly. Why not put him in?
It's a perfect game to put him in. Like that's the thing, isn't it?
There's no pressure. The pressure's off. There's no reason to leave him out. Shelby could play with a pair of flip-flops on his feet and he'd still be on for the 90 minutes. My dog runs better with the ball than Miggy. The thing is, people are starting to see it. People are starting to see it on a regular basis now that Miggy's just not performing, and it's annoying. Yes, very annoying, because there probably is a player in there, but maybe not suited for the Premier League. We all were predicting the hammer, and it was close there in the Champions League final. Let's get back to reality. Well done, Newcastle. Yeah, I mean, hey, come on, 4-3 when everyone predicting the hammer, and yet we can't. What we're trying to do here is just pick the bones out of the game and see where we could have done better as a team, and where we could have done better by going at Manchester City a bit more than we did just sitting back off them.
Yeah, and that's what we should do as fans. Like, we shouldn't just be expecting to be kind of bent over and like hammered by Man City. We should be expecting to have a go at them, and the fact that we're just picking out the little nitty things is kind of more expectation than I thought when we were speaking last night, because I thought we were going to literally get hammered 4-5-0, but we did have a go, and that's fine. But there's nothing wrong with wanting a little bit more, because I feel like with Newcastle fans, we are always kind of punished for wanting a bit more. But the way we showed up tonight, yes, we did okay because we pinned them down like to 3, but if we just give a little bit more, we could have done it, and that's just the annoying thing about Newcastle. It just took a little bit more.
Geordie's comment there, Kraft and Joelinton scored first half. I was expecting Dubravka to score in the second. Can you imagine what the odds... Well, the odds on Kraft getting the first goal were 100-1, right? So can you imagine putting Kraft and Joelinton to score? I mean, the odds would have been through the second roof. Exactly. Love Matt Ritchie's passion and drive. We're a totally different team with him in the starting lineup. I agree. Gemma says, love you too, Paul. Hey, thank you. I was beginning to feel a bit left out, but never mind. Truls says, Paul, I love you. Best part of this show. Cheers, man. Peter says entertaining game, but very piss poor defending. Peter's right, piss poor defending. I mean,
yeah,
you know, the goals for Torres, those I mean, it was a bit frustrating because the defenders are looking at the Man City players, you know, but the ball watching as well, and they're not picking the men up, and you cannot do that against Manchester City. Doesn't matter whether it's a third choice striker.
Yeah, in that position, like time just stops for Newcastle United, and everyone just stands still and kind of looks at where the ball will go instead of like preempting where the ball will go. So like a good defender will be like, right, if he's going to do that, I'm going to preempt where this ball will go. But time stands still. They all just stand and look about where they think it's going to go. And I've always been a massive fan of Dubravka, but I do feel like he could have done better with a couple of the goals tonight. He should have been kind of a bit more on his feet and aware, and I feel like he could have done better. But it is what it is, and
I agree.
Only getting beat by 1 goal, I can't really disagree with that.
I mean, I agree with Dubravka to a certain degree. I think sometimes, though, he expects the defenders to get the balls that they really should be getting to, and doesn't expect the shots to come in. And
being in front of the Newcastle defence, he should know
got to be a
nightmare, that he's expected a shot. Do you know what I mean? He's been in front of them long enough to know that a shot's probably going to come in.
It's got to be an absolute mare, though, hasn't it? Stephen says the yogurt's still in the fridge. Damn right.
Didn't win.
So I thought at one stage I was going to be sitting on Tuesday night on the Fan Forum show, having to sit in front of everybody and eat a yogurt.
He's suffered enough. Come on.
My God.
He's had to watch Bruce Ball all season.
Exactly. Great game of attacking football, but defensively both sides are poor. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Terry said, pissed off losing 4-3. How come we can't win by that score? Because Bruce bottled it. He bottled it again. In a dead rubber game, he fucking bottled it. That's what pisses me off. I mean, it's...
But you know what it is like? With the entertainers, it was like Keegan was like, you can score 4, we'll score 5. And it's kind of like that mentality with the players, but we haven't got the quality to not kind of concede that many and score as much. Like the fact we scored 3 tonight is a bloody miracle, but we just need that little bit more. But imagine if Wilson was on the pitch tonight. I don't know, like it might have been a different game, but our defense is far too leaky to not kind of concede that many, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, Richard goes on to say there, we haven't scored against City for more than 2 years. I'd be delighted to lose 4-3. Yeah, I mean, yeah. What can you say about that?
Well,
Arsenal haven't scored.
You can't be too disheartened about scoring 3 against the champions, can you really?
No.
And literally 4-3 is I couldn't even pick that scoreline out of my head, to be honest. Like, even if in my wildest dreams to score 3 goals against City without Wilson. But we did it, and I give them credit for that, but I just a little bit more is what I wanted. I asked too much.
Never would have predicted 4-3, to be honest, Jayde.
No, I never would have.
Ricky says, promising attacking wise, but we still give the ball away far too easily and concede bad goals regardless who we play. Kevin says, Annie, isn't it past your bedtime?
It's a weekend. He's all right.
Kev behave winding Annie up. You do it every show. I love it, really. Michael says, do we have a coach that specialises in defending? The amount of goals this season we concede by ball watching and not being aware of where the opposition are is shocking. Totally right. And it seems to be, you know, every game we play that we concede silly goals like that. If you look back across the season and actually look at the goals that we have actually conceded, a lot of them, a real lot of them could have been stopped by just using that and a bit more positional sense.
But it looks to me like it's simple Premier League defending that just needs tweaking. Like, and if we had a proper defending coach, like little things like that could have been stopped. But it just seems so clueless when players are coming at them with the ball at their feet. Like, if you get long balls into the defence, they can cope with it because they're a tall defence and they can easily get it out. But when players run at them, they really struggle and they either end up kind of conceding the free kick or the penalty, or in Shaw's case, end up getting bloody sent off. So it needs different training. Yeah.
RD12 there said they had Scott Carson, their third choice keeper. Yeah, we mentioned that.
Hasn't played for 2 years.
Yeah, has a beard like Santa Claus. You know, has to be in goal in a wheelchair. Oh my God, man! I mean, you know, any shots wide of him, you're guaranteed to score. I mean, to be fair, actually, I thought he made a good save from the penalty because I know it was close to him. Yeah, I know it was close to him, But if you watched it when he had the replay from behind the goal, he was diving over the ball, but managed to get his hand down and stop it. I thought it was a good save. He was a bit unlucky. Obviously, the rebound came out to where it did. But
what worries me is that, like, without Wilson, we haven't got like a out-and-out penalty taker. The fact that I don't like the fact that it's kind of switched between players. I like the fact that there is one player that'll take penalties. Yes, that is Wilson. But when Wilson's not playing, I want someone who will take responsibility and take the penalties. I don't like this switching up malarkey. I want one player. Like, I thought it would be Richie, to be honest. When Joe Linton stepped up, I was
he was a penalty take before Wilson, wasn't he? So.
But then what happened last time? He really got a free kick against him because he miskicked the ball, and then he got a free kick. And I was like, but there should be an order of who takes penalties, and for some reason it just seems like a free for all.
I mean, for me, if Joe Linton took the first one, he takes the second one.
I don't understand. Like, obviously, I'm happy for Joe that he did like Joe Willock, that he did score.
Yeah, it's kept his run going. I mean, definitely.
But why do you not have the confidence in Joe Linton to take the second penalty? Like, he did such a good job with the first one. Like, why not give him the second one? And that's what baffles me. Like, who makes those decisions? Like, who decided that Joe Willock will take that one? Because if you go to penalties, you take them all. Even if, like, obviously with Wilson out, you should be the next in line. Made no sense
at all. 3 past the champions and also finalists of the Champions League. Yes, we made mistakes in defence, but City are a far superior team and actually have game management, as we've seen at the end. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, got a manager, that's why.
Alan says we need Ryan Fraser. No, we fecking don't. I'm sorry, but that man has offered nothing.
Tune top again.
Yeah, what I would love to have seen is the real Ryan Fraser this season. We haven't seen that, and but we will see the real Ryan Fraser playing for Scotland in the Euros, and I'll guarantee you of that.
We just want the Scotland Ryan Fraser to give his all and have a go, but we haven't seen that. And will we sell him? Probably not, because we need all the players we need at next season without a takeover. But we'll see what happens with him. But I have no guarantee that he'll probably have a crack in Euros.
Yeah. What happened there? You went on and off there.
Oh, did I?
You're back.
I'm back here.
Pep probably will be annoyed with parts of City's performance, while Bruce will read his scripted answers to the media. Yeah, you could tell that, halfway through the second half, I mean, you could see Pep was, still going at his players on the edge of the technical area because he's a winner. Because he's a winner. And we have, Steve Bruce, who is a monumental bell end. That's right. But
it just makes me so envious seeing kind of Pep get so like animated on the touchline, like wanting his players to do more. He knows he's won the Premier League. He knows getting fuck all out of this game will do nothing for his season, but he still wants them to do the best, and he was still animated. And when we went I think we went 3-2 up, and he was gutted. You could see him on the sideline, like, frustrated, and Steve Bruce was like rubbing his hands, like thinking, excellent. I'm gonna get bloody May Premier League Manager of the Month, get in. Like, but that's what I want. Like, that's all I want is a manager that thinks, even though you're getting beat and there's nothing to play for, I still want you to do your best. And to be honest, for me, that's not a lot to ask for.
Can you imagine John Joe Shelby playing for Pep?
Can
you actually imagine what it would be like?
You'd be out the door before he even kicked a ball. Like, if you don't give your all for Pep, you're out, and he's not scared to kind of make them big decisions. Like, you can be the all-star that you want. If you're not performing for Pep, you're out, and that's a decent, good manager.
Exactly. Billy says, I agree. Severe lack of long-range shots at Methuselah, who was incidentally shite at his peak. Who can forget that performance against Croatia?
Why did they sign him in a low? Well, they're desperate. Like, well, they just like needed a keeper.
Signing, I think, and decided to keep him. Yeah, bizarre.
Well, like, why not? We can go back to Derby County at the end of the season.
Exactly. Good evening, Dave. Hi, Paul. Jade. Hope you're okay. Canny games, 3 goals against the champs. Yeah. Just leave Bruce out of it. Oh, God almighty. Man.
Yeah, man. You macking bastard. Fuck off.
Wow. Go on, Jade. Just say how you feel about him.
I'm just sick of his shit, man. Like, I understand everyone has their opinion, but when you come on spouting shit about, like, I know you're trying to wind her up, saying, like, Bruce is the best and stuff, but I'm just not having it anymore. Like, it's the end of the season. I've had 2 seasons of this twat now, and we're probably going to go into a third. Like, I'm not having it anymore. So you can piss off with your Bruce is the best shit. Like, I'm sick of it.
My co-host, ladies and gentlemen. Joel says, change it to Bruce out and we will agree. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Just leave Bruce out. Yeah. Ryan, hello, Paul and Jade. Well played to the players.
Hey,
Bruce out. GL, decent game. No love lost. Better fitness needed. How are the lads? Billy says, might sacked. Are you Alex Bruce by any chance? That is a good point.
Oh my God, imagine.
Clearly not a Newcastle supporter.
I want to say thank you. Well done to my dad.
Yes, Daddy. Well done, Daddy. How brilliant.
Well, Daddy, thank you, Daddy. You're so good, Daddy. Right, sorry, you're tweeting your dad who has not got Twitter. Send him a text, Alex. You did it on purpose to wind people up, you stupid cunt.
Yeah.
Just honestly, it's well done, Daddy. Well deserved. We all know how much you love this job. If he'd loved the job, he would have fucked off a long time ago, Alex. So tell your dad that. If you are mighty sacked.
Jade, have you been on raw meat before the game?
No, I haven't. I'm just sick. I'm just sick of Newcastle supporters getting shit for supporting their club and wanting the best for their club. And yous all come in even with Alex Bruce and little people that say well, Bruce has done a good job. I'm not having it anymore. I've got any confidence now on this channel, and I'll tell you how I think.
You go for it, girl. You go, girl.
I'll go, girl.
Yeah, you go, girl. Look, if we run at them, we leave us open at the back. Yeah, but we were open at the back anyway. Why not just give it a go?
Regardless, we're going to be open at the back.
Musical Magpies. I wonder who will start midfield against Sheffield. Hopefully, the Longstaffs get game time. I really think he's just going to pick the same boring players. He's going to pick Shelby again. Michael says we have to win both games now just to beat last season's points by one. Progression is goal, isn't it? Eyes. The twat he is. He's not a twat, Michael. He's a monumental
bell end.
Is what he is. Me comments have gone here. Why you're again? It's Friday night.
Bloody StreamYard.
Bloody StreamYard. Hey, stop pinching my quotes. You picked them up
too long enough now, Nick.
I know. Haroon says good match with terrible subs. Bruce out. He needs to give it to Jeff Bezos. I don't know who he is.
I think he's the owner of Amazon, isn't he?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think he's the richest man in the world.
Oh wow. Well, yeah. Let him buy the club.
Yeah, totally.
Damn right. We would have won a draw and had Wilson played. I'm not too sure about that. I don't know. Ryan said Bruce should give that award to Graham Jones. Yes. Bruce, manager of the.
Honestly, you're fucking testing my patience.
Yeah, seriously.
Everyone has their opinion, but
dear God, she's on the break of her.
You're coming on a Newcastle stream to have your opinion on Steve Bruce.
I'm just going to have a drink. You go for it.
Carry on, Paul. So, mighty sacked. You're coming on a Newcastle stream to have your opinion on Steve Bruce. And if you like Steve Bruce, that is fine. But just don't comment that he's done a great job, because I can show you many, many stats that show that he's the worst Premier League manager that ever existed. So if you can come and tell me any otherwise, that he's done a great job, please do. But I have stats to back me up that he's absolutely shocking. And if you are a Mackem or support any other team, you waste your time coming on this channel every single time we're on just to wind her up. But it doesn't work, because we know how Steve Bruce works and we know he's shocking. So please carry on and give us the views. Thank you for your time.
Wow. Remind me not to get on the wrong side of you.
Don't, because I just don't understand
it. I bloody won't. Don't worry. Billy says, if I was Bruce, I'd put a surgical collar on Miggy in training, get his bloody head up. Bruce probably puts a sack of spuds on his back. Yeah, that's the thing. When Miggy gets a ball,
tired, doesn't he?
Yeah, but his head's down. His head's down, and he runs. He's like one of these greyhounds. He's just head down, and he's off.
The rabbit's there. Let's go.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to know where he's going. Carroll won't be substituted on because of the pay-as-you-play contract he's on. That's probably a good point, actually.
That's probably a part of it, yeah.
Yeah, Alex says an entertaining atrocity of a game, could have won.
Oh, that's actually a good way of putting it, actually.
It is, yeah.
An entertaining atrocity.
Kevin says 20% possession against the league champs and Euro Champions League finalists. Reserves that tonight was crying out for a big lump. Carroll smashing that here. Sterling 50% he was 2 seasons ago. Sterling did nothing tonight, but I think Murphy kept him out.
Yeah,
Murphy did well. He's learning on the job.
He'd be trying to get into the Champions League final, won't he? So
yeah,
but he kept him quiet, so I'm happy with that.
Murphy did well. He's learning on the job. Cancelo struggled by the jammy shot. I thought Cancelo was awful. Or Cancelo, however you say it. Derek said, Jade, the weak link in the team is Shelby. He must go. He is stealing £80,000 a week for what? Don't get her started. She's on the, I mean, there's the high horse and then there's Jayde. So let's not wind her up even more tonight.
Don't mention that man to me.
No, I mean, Michael says Shelby spammed all the votes for Bruce to win Manager of the Month so he can play in 90 minutes.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, I would love to see
like
John Joe's phone
email
bill.
accounts just to keep emailing and voting.
Yeah, I'd love to see his phone bill. Billy says Miggy does play like a puppy chasing a balloon. Yeah, that's how best to describe him. We're desperate for a ball-winning midfielder. Hayden is the closest we have, but he can't be in two places at once, always covering for Shelby. I did at one stage think that Hayden and Shelby were a good combination a couple of years back, but not now. No. You're right. Hayden's the only one we have. Michael says subscribe.
Like anyone playing next to Shelby has to do two men job. Like he has to do his own job and then cover for Shelby, and that's just not fair. Especially on like young, like Sean Longstaff, who needs to kind of going forward. I think Sean is a good player going forward, but he doesn't get the chance because he's trying to do two men's job, and it's just not fair on the kid.
Michael says subscribe and watch Four Horsemen on Monday to cheer you up and forget the match tonight.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Barry's got something special planned. I don't know what it is.
God. Well, Chipper said he's at work, so I know it'll just be Jude.
But did you see what Barry put out today?
I with Joe Linton and John, the picture. Yeah. I did, unfortunately. I was like, bloody hell, Barry.
Yeah, I don't know what the story is that Barry's going to come out with on Monday, but it's something that I'm dreading to think. So do tune in for that. So if you do enjoy the show tonight, if you are enjoying the show tonight, please smash the like button. And if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Have a look around, see if you enjoy what content we have on here, and do consider it. There is obviously super chats available if you want to go that route as well. Thank you. And there is some very big things coming in the summer on this channel. Myself and that woman down there who is needing some Valium tonight. We are going to have, it is going to be like a sort of Newcastle United quiz. We'll do more details of that in the coming weeks, but over the summer. So what we're going to do is get individual people on separately, just one person on, and ask them questions about Newcastle United, and it'll run over about a 3-week period. Then after the 3 weeks, the top two will go head to head in the final, and obviously there'll be prizes at the end of it. So if you think, exactly. So if you think you got your Newcastle knowledge screwed on, then keep an eye out for those. They'll be starting in the summer as well. And after that, there'll be a general football one as well, not just about Newcastle United. So if you've got your football wits about you, keep an eye open for that as well.
Oh, John's going to be all over that.
Exactly. So all that'll happen is you'll come on with me and Jayde. We'll each ask you questions one at a time. And then obviously there'll be a leaderboard. And the top two at the leaderboard at the end, however many you get right in a row, you will be able to obviously advance to the final. That's right. But you will be able to enter more than once as well. So, you can have another go and keep going and see what you do. But that's all to come. So keep an eye on the channel for that as well as all the Euro stuff we'll cover. Four Horsemen will still be on. Me and the Raji one down there will still be on as well. So do stay tuned. Lots of content coming up. I think ASM will still be a Newcastle United player next season. Let's hope Steve Bruce isn't, though. Your channel is epic. Keep it up, guys. Cheers, buddy. Steve says, great game. Pity about the yogurt. Oh, thanks. Want to see me suffer on front of the camera. Where was the pressing from the last game? Exactly. That's the whole point. If we can go at Leicester, why not just go at Man City like that?
That's what frustrates me, isn't it? Like the fact that if we had went like we did against Leicester, against this team, we would have done all right because they were there for the taking. Like they weren't the City that won the Premier League. I mean, they were a weakened side, and there were weaknesses that we should have kind of spotted out and attacked. But unfortunately, Bruce doesn't have that managerial mind to think of that. He's happy the fact that we only kind of got beat by 1 goal in the end.
Yeah. I mean, it's bizarre there. I mean, we've scored, like Trull says there, 7 goals in 2 games. Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
I would never have thought that. If you asked me how many we would score against Leicester and Man City, I would have said none. So
Man City scoring 3 without Callum Wilson was never even thought of. Focus says, for context, I support Norwich, so I'm trying to be as impartial as I can. And add an outsider's opinion, though. I admit that I have a fondness for NUFC. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm very happy Norwich are back in the Premier League, and I'm excited to play them next season.
Yes, welcome Timmy Krul back to the club. Kevin says, when we did have a go, their defence bricked themselves. We haven't got a bad team. Fitness levels poor and a bad manager. We need a manager who can work better with players to get the best out of them. Totally agree.
Yeah, this team could be miles above where they are with a decent manager and decent fitness, because do you know what? There is quality in there. And we've seen it in glimpses this season, just with a better fitness and kind of training regime and a better kind of managerial kind of push, we would be smashing it. And I think we would be cruising.
I'm Bruce out all day, but these are the champions of England and UCL finalists. Let's watch the last two games and see what happens. It'd be very interesting to see how we perform in these next two, whether we sit back and take it again or whether we actually go for the kill this time. Derek says, Paul Bradbury, where do you come from? Maybe we know each other. Interesting. But this isn't
romance.
Terry says, Annie is quiet. Does he want to shove? Annie's probably passed out now.
It's past his bedtime. What time are we on bed?
10 to 11 now. He'd be well flat out.
Kendall
says, I know Wilson is injured, but ASM shouldn't be played as a striker to get the best out of him. He wasn't played as a striker tonight. He's not. It's the final ball. I mean, I don't know. ASM is one of these enigmas, that you have in your team. 1 minute he's just not in the game. The next minute he'll do something unbelievable. But we haven't seen that unbelievable for a while now.
It's what I said about Robert. Like, when he's good, he's very, very good. But when he's bad, he's bloody awful. And it's very Robert-esque. Like, he can do stuff that other players can't do. But when he's off his game, you think, bloody hell, like, why are you even on the pitch? Like, when he runs at players, he has like a lot of confidence, which I don't blame him, because he can do it. But I feel like he has too much confidence sometimes and tries to take on that extra man, where you have players that are running past you could pass it to and they would be in. And I feel like he just needs to learn that part of his game, when to pass and when to go forward.
Totally agree. Gary says, get behind the team, and Bruce, this negativity is no good for the club. Bruce isn't as bad as it could be.
Negative. Oh, yeah.
Steady on.
Look at the stats. Look at the stats. It is as bad as it could be. He's the worst Premier League manager in history. So I'm sorry, Gary. It is as bad as it could be. And we're just lucky that we're still in the Premier League. And I'm very thankful for that. But that is what it is. It's luck. It's pure luck.
Gary.
Sorry, Gary.
Check.
I'm so sorry, Gary. I understand your opinion, but
Gary, feel the mood. Check the surroundings.
I'm sorry, Gary,
before making a comment about Steve Bruce.
You say it could be worse, but it's the worst because he's the worst Premier League manager in history. So that's just the stats. I don't lie. The stats are telling you differently that he's the worst. I'm just saying that. It's not me saying that. That is the stats saying that.
Oh, God, I wouldn't say anything.
Exactly,
you're right about everything tonight, Jayde. You are right about everything. Yes, exactly. Gary says, Annie, did you remember to get your Bristol Rovers season ticket? What are you trying to do to the kid? Charles says, was the keeper's walking chair behind the goal? Yeah, he borrowed. He didn't have one when he came into the ground, so Shelby gave him his spare.
He's pushed his wheelchair in, like, come on, Carson, exactly. You're all right. You're going to have a nice 90 minutes.
Kevin says, my wife reckons Scott Carson is older than me. I'm 55, but Scott Carson has better teeth. That's because you keep losing yours in random service stations, Kevin.
Literally, my partner was like, how old is he? Like 45. And I was like, he's 33. He's only 3 years older than me. He's like, oh, well, he looks old. I'm like, well, good. Bloody hell. He does look older than he is.
He does. Keith Atkinson is laughing, says Trolls. Rich says, City do usually take it more seriously against us. We never get Carson, Ake and Garcia. That's very true. You get the
probably because they're not shit scared of you fucking going forward. That's
exactly. And yes, if NUFC have a more competent manager than Bruce, they'd be performing better, I feel. I heard Poch might be on the way out if they drop the title to Lille. Could he add anything you think? Hey, if we get a takeover, Poch, I'd love Poch as manager. I really would. I think he could take the club forward.
Great man.
Without a takeover, I don't think he'd... but I don't think he'd work under Ashley. Billy says Joe Linton scored the penalty he was fouled for, and Willock took the penalty he was fouled for. That's the only reason I can think of. That's a good point. I never thought of that.
Tactics.
But do you think? Do you honestly think? Yeah, but do you honestly think Callum Wilson
Fernandez going forward and he gets took out by Fernandez? It's yours. Like, come on now. You've got to have some bloody tactics to know who's taking your penalties. Like, that's standard football. Like, he doesn't have a clue.
Well, the thing is, can you imagine Wilson saying to Willock, "Oh, you were fouled. You take the penalty." Oh, Alan Shearer, can you imagine Shearer?
He'd be like,
anyone trying to get the ball off Alan Shearer for a penalty? Hell's teeth. Next season, Ashley is owner, Bruce's manager, and the fans like the band on the Titanic singing till they go down. That'll be us. Yes, I know.
Don't test us.
Mike says, I'll swap with the monks. They are so badly off. Yeah, I know. Peter says, love in the background, Paul. Cheers. But that's a big up to Richard from the over and over and over again, the Positive Arsenal channel. He did it for us. The man is a genius. He's done us two, actually, so I'll mix them up a little bit. But I absolutely love this one with the old Blue Star sponsor, McEwen's, Northern Rock, all that kind of thing. I think he's done a fantastic job. So big up to Richard for that. Croatia mentioned. Yes. Go on, Jayde. Yeah, I don't think many people will be messing you. Yes. Trill says, Paul looks like he would be a great mate. I am. He's
alright, He's alright.
I'm alright, tell you that. Owen says colossal bell end. No, it's always monumental with me.
Monumental bell end.
Monumental bell end. Peter says, you tell him, Jayde. Terry says, go, Jayde. Kevin says, Jayde, mega rant, do it again. Paul's face was a picture. Dave says, Jayde on fire tonight. JL says, this is the passion we live for, Jayde. She's learning quickly off me with the rants, by the way. I'll
learn from the best.
She's learned from the best ranter. Austin is quite is laughing. Luke says, well said, Jayde. Billy says, Tourette's, Jayde. Love it. Curse, and more curse. Paul looks like the kind of mate that jumped in the cab with you after a big night out at 3 a.m. to go home, and you just end up at another pub with him. Chris says, was Jayde in Brides of Dracula or the Adams Family? Whoa! I tell you what.
Yeah, I'm Wednesday, if you didn't know.
Yes. That's shown tonight. Can't complain at that loss, says Dominic. Ryan says, go on, Jayde, tell how it is. Alan says, how far has Sean regressed? We were comparing him to Declan Rice 2 or 3 years ago. I know. But
it's
again,
shame, isn't it?
Would a better manager get the best out of Sean? Because a better manager would play him further up the field for one and not have him, defending for 80 minutes of the game. Toonser says, Bruce will get a 3-year contract. Just watch, be announced within 4 weeks.
Stop it.
Whoa.
Stop it.
Whoa, let's not even go there.
Don't make her feel sick.
Billy says, Jayde should definitely be allowed as part of the Horsemen. She's worse than us. Well, I know she does watch this game, so,
I do watch it, yeah. It makes us laugh, but I don't know what I'd be like a part of it, because I would just be laughing the whole time. I wouldn't even have anything to say.
It would be the 3 horsemen and 1 lady. That's what we'd call the show if Jayde ever comes on.
A cowgirl.
Whatever you want to be.
He said horseman, so I was just trying to find
JL says, Alan's such a shame with both Longstaff, such a decline since Rafa went. Michael, there's already a meme of Graham Jones' face instead of Bruce's with the award. There's a lot of memes. Yes, and with Steve Bruce. I mean, there's one I've seen tonight with a giant dildo. There's one with a kebab. There's one with a pasty. I mean, these guys are brilliant.
Tennis balls.
Yeah, it's crazy. Andy says, our shit players outshined our decent players. Does Bruce really pick the team? Good point. Kevin says, good point, Paul. Bezos, he's got a few quid. He could buy us. He's just banged £100 million into the UK to retrain Amazon staff. Can't believe you didn't know Bezos. Well, yeah.
Send him a quick message.
I mean, saying I didn't know who he was, I think... I've heard of him, but I didn't realise that was the Amazon guy. Paul, please don't call Bruce a cabbage. That's an insult to a cabbage. There's goodness in a cabbage, none in Bruce. Well, you'll find that I don't call Steve Bruce a cabbage. He's a monumental bell end. Austin says, Jayde, who would you bench for the last few games?
Do you know what? I'm gonna Miggy. Yeah. Honestly, I would change Miggy for Matty, and I would just let him have a go, because I feel like Miggy's kind of wore himself out now, and I think there's nothing else he can give us. And I feel like he's tried and he runs, but there's just nothing he can give. And I want him to do well, but I would literally swap Miggy for Matty and see what he can do. But obviously, that's because I know I'm saying that because I know he won't change Shelby, because Shelby would be my first pick to remove. But I know from Bruce that he won't do that. So kind of like thinking around Bruce, it would be Miggy. Unfortunately,
I mean, I don't get. I really don't get why he can't just bring in some of the youngsters for these last 2 games. There's no pressure on. Let the youngsters experience the Premier League and just have a go. There's nothing to lose. And I'd probably have more respect.
Get experience, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I'd have more respect for Bruce doing that. Kev says, thought Basil was a nice guy, but now I know he's from the dark side. Oh, yes.
He's got a dark side.
I'm a bit puzzled by this one from Thomas. Great show, Dave and Jayde. Who's Dave?
Dave.
Thomas, you'll see that my name is actually Paul. It's not Dave.
But thanks, though.
Yeah, I
got my name right. So.
Oh, well, as long as that's right, who gives you a shit about anybody else?
Shit about Paul or Dave.
Yeah. Damn. Shelby from Voldemort to a vampire because he had Vampires V tonight. Derek says, Paul, the reason Shelby runs with his head down, he's looking to where the other 4 feet are from a Zimmer frame going to land. That's a good point. Next season, bottom 6 guaranteed. Warren, even the guys, hope you're well. What a game of football that was. Didn't see that coming. Shame about the results. The lads gave everything, and that's all we ask for as fans, as a club and the team that tries. Hey, we did try tonight. I must admit, and I've always said that, the lads would get some praise if they did try. I'm not having to go at the lads here. I'm having to go at the manager for his tactics. They were wrong. We could have got at Manchester City a lot more tonight had the shackles been taken off the team a bit more.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what we're saying. Kevin says, John Sinclair got you some sour Greek yogurt, Paul, for you, but please, it's still in his fridge. It's ready to cool Joe Linton's thighs. Yeah, it's not Monday, Kevin. Behave. Let's have a look. Triggered. Oh, Jules is off again. He loses control with his laughter. Thomas says, sorry, Paul. We'll
let you go, Thomas.
Owen says, someone's on one of the night. Haha, it's proper class, raw passion. Love it. Obviously talking about you for tonight and not me.
Well, it's all it is because I want the best for this club, and when I see there is this potential there, and that's what annoys us because we're not living to that full potential where we could be, and that's all I want is just to give them all and just to try our best. And under Bruce, we're never going to have that, and it's so heartbreaking because this team could be further up than they are, and that's what's frustrating about it all.
I think we all know that. Paul says, sorry?
We all know that.
We all know that, Jayde.
Well, you should know. I've said it long enough.
Damn right you haven't, in a very, very forceful way.
As long as you all know.
Paul says, Paul needs to practice his Mockney accent for next season. Him, Dolph, Sylvester, Wesley would make a great midfield. Stay from my arse. Well, thanks, Paul.
Hey.
That's lovely.
He looks more like Statham than Lee Charnley, I'll tell you that.
I see, yeah. I pair well. First Manager of the Month award for Bruce ever after escaping the mess he put himself in. Great manager. Yeah. It wasn't good for Steve Bruce to get Manager of the Month. At the same time, Jayde gets Tyke of the Month. Tyke, is that some kind of rage machine? I'm not sure what a tyke is. I hope
it's not something referring to a lady part, but...
No, I don't think it is. I think well, I don't know.
I've never heard that before, to be honest.
Neither have I. It's a very interesting tyke. I'm not sure. Never mind.
We'll Google it.
And I really don't know what that says. Mohammed.
That says Saudis have just taken over Newcastle.
Right. I'm very interested. Ryan says Steve Bruce is a fat, fraudulent prick. I can't wait to see the back of that horrible bastard. Join the club, my friend. Join the club. But I was actually staggered at how many Bruce lovers came out of the woodwork today. I mean, I just
got to congratulate him. Got to say well done.
Why should I congratulate a man? Yeah, why should I congratulate a man who has done nothing but make fun and attack the fans all season, played rubbish football, has no interest in getting us above 17th. If we're above 17th, it's luck. He does not care about this club. He cares about a club in Manchester that wear red. And he always will do.
That's always going to be his first club.
A Newcastle fan. Yeah. The bottom line is...
you can say he's a Geordie all he wants, but his first love is Man United, and he's proven that when we played them, and he was like, I've got to go with my heart and say Man United. You're not from up here. You're not a Geordie, because no Geordie would ever bet against Newcastle, no matter who they were playing. Yeah, I know we've kind of made predictions against them because we're being realistic, but... From a Geordie saying, like, right, who do you want to win? He goes around and saying, I've got to say Man United. Well, then you're not from up here, unfortunately. Like,
yep. Right, off. Clever Clogs. What does that say?
Do you have a
All right, okay. Billy says the gap between, of course, the gap between Carson's teeth was almost bigger than the one between our centre backs. Excuse me, I have a gap in my teeth as well, but unfortunately that was through the ice hockey, and I can't do anything about it. But you know, it's a trademark now. Apparently, you can fit a bus through mine. Carson's only 33 for fuck's sake, says Kevin. Will says, who else got on that 400-1 bet from Sky? You guaranteed somebody will.
Well, they would have been lucky.
Right. Oops.
That says oops.
Elbow cough. What's an elbow cough?
Elbow cough.
Scott Carson's actually 35. I think he's one of these players who you just never know how old he is.
I think I Wikipedia'd him before when he was 33.
Well, to me, he's 133.
Kendall
says the way the game gone with Kraft and Joe Linton surprised Atsu didn't come on and score. Chris says the takeover is Cuckoo Land. I'm not so sure it is, matey, but you know, we'll see, I guess.
Might be closer than we think.
Warren says hopefully can end the season strongly against Sheffield United and Fulham next week. Be good to see some fans back in the stadium. I'm just looking forward to hearing what the chants are, because I just want constant chants against Steve Bruce just to see how he handles it.
Sky Sports will block them anyway, like they normally do.
Yeah, I mean they'll probably put
they'll just put the normal stories on over the top of them like they normally do.
Probably.
But we'll see.
That was very deep voice there, Jayde. Mark said we could have won that match tonight. Austin, I'll never forget when Steve Bruce mentioned Willock to just run around when he was subbed on last month.
To just run on and try and score. That's the tactics of our manager, unfortunately.
It's either take over or Bruce Ball for another season.
Don't.
What's your ideal signing for Newcastle next season? We've tried to answer this a million times. We just don't know, because we don't know where the club will be next season. We don't know if they're going to be.
Unfortunately, isn't it?
Take over or not, we don't know. Warren says go Jayde on fire tonight. Richard says often a player who's taken a penalty in a game will be reluctant to take a second, as the keeper will have an advantage on him. Well, not for Callum Wilson, not for Alan Shearer. You had Ian Wright.
When you're good at penalties.
Thierry Henry, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
How do you think on the result? We're chuffed we scored 3 goals, put it that way. I mean, there was some good and bad things about the night. James says Steve Bruce with custard powder, Pringles, and a kebab, you name it, it's there as a meme. It's definitely there as a meme, without a shadow of a doubt. The Bruce meme with bacon-flavoured Pringles is my favourite. There's been some cross ones.
It was rations of bacon. It was my favourite. How was the bacon, did you say?
LD, oh my God, missed the game, completely forgotten. It turns out to be a classic.
You forgot?
It was a classic. If you want to see Manchester City having a training session for the last 25 minutes, fair enough. Kendo says, I can understand Willock putting his feet down, but JL should have told Willock to stand down for a penalty, as it looked like weakness in leadership.
Yeah, I just don't know. He has the confidence for that, does he? But we don't know what that decision probably came from the bench, not from him. I don't think
we don't know what was said. We really, until we know what was said. Steve Bruce has come on to say, "Our manager of the month are you, Paul? So don't judge my tactics." Well, screw you.
Enjoy your apple crumble, Steve.
I'm sure he will. Jayde, why the Russian voice there?
I don't know what happened, to be honest. I'm just.
Why the?
I don't know. We went Japanese last night, and now we're Russian tonight. So
Mr. Bond.
Tune into the Tune Review for different accents every time.
Yeah, I'm right.
I think clones.
I think people think we've lost it tonight.
Probably.
Les said we didn't even put a
3
tackle
goals
in the
against
last
the champions.
15 minutes.
We're okay to be happy.
That's very true. We didn't even put a tackle in the last 15 minutes. Trill says, great show, guys. Kendo, I weren't playing, lad. Well worthy of cabbage of the month. Well, yeah. Steve Bruce is back again. These players could win the Premier League next season if today's anything to go off, starting with me winning manager of the month and Kraft and Joe Linton both scoring.
Well done, Steve.
Trill says Paul is Ashley's lost son. Wow. Trolls, I like you, I do, but really?
That's the line, Trolls. It's the line.
Yes, the line. Do not cross the line. Good penalty, Joe Linton, says Kendo. Is that Pork Pie Face's first Manager of the Month award? It is indeed.
Yeah.
We'll run through these last few comments before we end the show. James says over 400 Premiership games, he finally wins his first Manager of the Month. Yeah. So true, Truls. Oh, God, just jump on the bandwagon, Thomas. Why don't you? 2 more matches. We need 3 points off Sheffield United and Fulham. It'd be nice to finish the season with 2 wins, definitely. I agree, Paul. What? WHA. What's WHA with? I don't know. I don't know. Billy said apparently a tyke is a mischievous small child, according to Google. So there you go. You're a mischievous small child.
Tyke. I do know now. Yes, that is true. I am very young.
No.
I'm a mischievous young person. That's very true.
She's a mischievous woman. Austin says Steve Bruce lovers came out of the woodwork to protect their daddy. Park with Bus in Carson's Gap. Kevin says, come on, it was now to do about football. Bruce is moonlighting at St James's Park. His Manager of the Month award was for his Greg's job and top sales for apple pies. Would Ross Barkley be a good signing?
Well, yeah, he's, like I said last time, is he better than what we've got? 100%. Yes. So, yes, he would be a good signing, but depends how much they ask for. If they're going to ask for ridiculous money, then he is past it a little bit, but I still think he'd be a decent signing. He would do a job for her.
Yeah, I mean, someone quoted 47 million or something last night,
That's
didn't they? I'm not having it. Not for
ridiculous.
Derek says, Paul, getting away from tonight. Bruce is lucky that they don't give medals for worst manager of the month. He would have to rent an aircraft hangar to store them. 20 years of failure. Good point.
That's just the stats, guys. Just the stats.
Man City having the ball for over 3 minutes during a single passage of play was so frustrating to watch. Exactly. Training session. Agreed. Bruce Love is quiet all season. Come out when the pressure is off. The supporters will be buying me pints in the strawberry after the match because they all love me. Just look at the amount of positive comments today. Shit, man. Would you sell St Maximin to buy a couple of players in the summer?
Yeah.
It's a tough one because, maybe we can get some more players that are a bit more, score a few more goals, a few more assists,
And knowing how Ashley works, that's probably what he will do. He'll look to sell these good players to buy a couple of more. And at the end of the day, I don't kind of blame him for that because, yes, I love Maxi and I love what he brings, but it's not consistent. And we need, at the minute, consistently good Premier League footballers to keep us safe next season. And that's my worry. I don't want this. If he performs, he's good. If he doesn't perform, he's shite. Like, I need consistency. And that's what Newcastle United haven't got, unfortunately.
Yeah. Owen says, am I the only one seeing Jayde's cat in the background? No, you're not. Jayde's cat always regularly makes appearance on the show.
Which one was it this time?
I don't know. It wasn't have you got a ginger one?
I have got a ginger one, yeah.
I think it was a ginger one, yeah.
He's feeling sorry for himself because he got an injection today, so he wants to be YouTube famous.
Yeah, well, they both do. Have you got 2?
I've got 3. So,
3?
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The girl. You've got guinea pigs. You can please shut up.
Well, yeah, I've got a dog and
100 of them.
I just
I've got
zoo.
3, but yeah, the girl's not like she just sleeps, but the 2 boys, the black cat and the ginger one, like love to run about, so you'll always see them appear.
Yeah. Billy says if a takeover happens, it wouldn't surprise me if Raheem was our statement signing. I know it sounds daft, but he will leave City this summer, I believe. I wouldn't say no to Sterling. Santiago Munez scored past Scott Carson. Was Munez as good as they say he was? Yeah.
Great players, Munez.
I agree, Paul. Only a monumental bellend would laugh after being beaten by Manchester United. Beats says Graham Jones, well-deserved Manager of the Month.
You have got to think, how much has he had to do with it? Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't know what goes on in the background, but since he's came in, we have played better football, so it doesn't take a genius to kind of weigh up what's happened.
It's certainly interesting. Sorry, Paul, I apologise, says Truls. You're all right. An actual cabbage can win more Manager of the Month than Bruce. Classic is what someone told me. Just look at our stats, 18% fucking possession. Yeah, it's not great. It isn't great. Right, last few comments before we end the show, because it's late now on a Friday. Pardew won Manager of the Season. Excellent stream tonight. Thanks, James. Yes, well done, City. Finger slip, sorry. It's all right. All right, guys. Idea for the summer, the Monumental Bellends Award. Rio, Quaverlip, Simon, Fauntleroy, Jordan. The list goes on and on. Great show. Enjoyed the laughs, says Terry. Carson was man of the match. Wow. David Brooks would be a good signing. Maybe. Ake is bigger than your club. Oh, really? Really?
Okay, then.
Great show today. 8 a.m. here. Can't wait for the Four Horsemen. Good stuff, both of you. Away the lads. Champions of England. You'll never sing that.
What you eat your words, son. If this takeover goes through,
you were. Remember when you were in the third tier and you looked like you were going nowhere until the money came your way. But
getting beat 8-0 off Middlesbrough. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, Middlesbrough, a tiny little village in the North Yorkshire area. My God,
not North East, for my opinion.
No. You think Wilson got another season in him? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Great show, guys. Keep it up.
Thank you, guys.
Where were you when you were shite? Exactly, James. Exactly, son. Great comeback.
At least we can say we've been with Newcastle through fucking hell and back. I can't see many Man City's supporters saying the same.
Exactly. Kendo says, smash the like button harder than Bruce has destroyed Matty's confidence.
Yes, Kendo.
And Austin wants to know what your cat's names are, Jade.
So the ginger one's called Flynn, the ginger and black one's called Esme, and the all black one's called Boo. And we got him from Sunderland, but now he's a Geordie.
Boo who?
Boo hoo.
Boo-hoo. Kevin says, my Lakeland Terriers love cats as well as guinea pigs. Yes, we know, Kev.
Oh, Mom, you can.
Richard
don't
says...
talk about my cats that way.
No, please don't. She's in a bad mood tonight. Just seen match highlights for the first time. Amazing backwards and forwards through the game. To go ahead, then go 2-1 down, then go 3-2 ahead. It was like, what the hell is going on? But always knew City was never going to lose. I mean, you always had a feeling City had goals in them if they just stepped up the gear. Charles says, have a good night, all you two, buddy. Great show tonight. Keep up the good work. Hope you both have a great weekend. Warren says, take care. Richard says, League One playoff winners will sing that. I'm a Man United fan, but I love the Geordies. Well, thank you very much, Keith. Gonna win. About a good performance, even though we lost. Just watched the repeat of us hammering Man United 5-0 96. We need team spirit like that. Oh, it would be fantastic to have a team spirit like that. I'm sure the Manc fans singing that are quite proud. Yes. Right, that's it for match review live. It's been a blast again, and obviously Jade needs to go and take some volume and just calm down a bit.
I'm all right.
We'll be back on the fan forum, and I think people will be frightened to talk to you after tonight, Jade. Jesus.
So you should be.
But it's been great. Listen, it hasn't been a rant again from me. It was a great, for the neutral. It was a fantastic game of football to watch. Let's not forget we have scored 3 goals against the champions. We've only lost 4-3. A lot of people predicted us to get an absolute scudding. Exactly. So it's been a good night. It's been nice to watch, and we've got 2 games left this season, so hopefully we can get 6 points out of those 2 games and actually try and
we'll see.
But that's it for tonight. Don't forget, Monday night I'll be back with the 4 Horsemen of the Toon. God knows what's going to happen on that show. Barry's got something special.
It's going to be a special one, I think.
Yeah, he's got a story to go through, which I really don't know what it is, and I'm fearing for it. But it should be a great show. We'll talk about tonight. We'll talk about any potential transfers, or whatever news pops up over the weekend. But it'll just turn into chaos after that. Me and Jade will be back again on Tuesday night with Fan Forum Live. So make sure you get on and have a chat with us about the match. And we will be back later on in the week with press conference. Actually, no. We'll be back on probably.
I was going to say, because Tuesday night is the game before.
Yeah.
Playing Wednesday, aren't we?
Yeah, we might have to work that out because Fan Forum Live
slash game review.
Fan Forum / game review / match preview. We will be back on Wednesday night straight after the game with Match Reaction Live, and then is it Saturday or Sunday the season finishes?
Sunday.
I believe it's Sunday. We'll be back
just in case.
We'll be back straight after the game on Sunday as well. We'll be back with a match preview before that as well. So just keep an eye on the channel for when
we'll be up and about.
And on our Twitter pages, and obviously we'll tweet out when the shows are on. So like I said, like the show. If you're watching the rerun, please do like it as well. If you're new and you haven't already subscribed, please do. We get a lot of viewers on this channel who seem to watch all the time but haven't actually subscribed yet. So do hit the subscription button and also that notification bell, because the notification bell it'll let you know when we do go live or we have an upload for you to watch. So do all that fancy stuff, please. It'd be great. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I might do a video over the weekend with the player ratings and stuff like that on a recorded one. So keep your eyes open for that as well. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic weekend. Over and out.
Good one, guys. Bye.